Wednesday, the 19th of March, 2025. Good morning, everyone. This morning's devotional is a reading from Hebrews chapter 6, verse 15, and it reads, "And so after waiting patiently, Abraham received what was promised." Yesterday, I started speaking about how small lessons lead to big successes and part of the process, and today we'll continue with the process thereof. So, picture this scene. You're in a tremendous rush and you've got an appointment or you need to go somewhere. Let's say, for example, you need to go to a doctor and you walk into the consulting room or even a hospital and you walk into the waiting room and bang, it is full of people waiting. Your heart sinks because you know that despite your timed appointment, you are going to wait a long time. Now, people will come in and go out while you are in the waiting room and you're still sitting there. Know this, that you are not alone. Perhaps you're waiting for an answer on a job or on a result or anything else. There are a lot of people around you who are in the same position. It can be very frustrating to wait because we live in an instant world. So we expect, if not demand, answers immediately. But before we get too frustrated with the way God works, let us go back to Scripture and learn some lessons from the previous generations. It's always good to learn from the past. Think about Hannah in the first book of Samuel, who had to wait years to have the baby she was praying for God to give her. Think about Joseph. He had a God-given vision of being a ruler from a very young age, but he spent 14 years in jail for a crime he did not even commit. Think of Moses, who wandered in the wilderness for 40 years while he waited to find out what his next assignment was. Think of Abraham, who waited almost, if not 100 years before Isaac arrived, the child God had promised him years before. Would you wait that long for a child? Think about Noah, who waited 120 years before it rained. David is another case in point. He was told he would be king, and after he was anointed by the prophet Samuel, he was sent back to the pasture to shepherd sheep, and he had to wait years and years before he even saw the inside of a palace. God waited thousands of years before sending the Messiah that he had promised. And then he goes further. He spent another 400 years in dead silence before Jesus was born, with no message to the people who were waiting for deliverance. The wait may seem too long to handle, but there were many faithful people throughout history who waited far longer than you have waited and still trusted in God's goodness and promises. We get in a hurry, but know this, that God is never in a hurry. Waiting is part of the process and it is essential to your faith. So, God is going to use all the time it takes to make you into the person He wants you to be. The quicker you obey, the quicker you'll get there. But the waiting is still involved. My dear friends, while you are waiting, remember those who have waited faithfully before you and who saw the results and God answer in ways even bigger than what they anticipated. Ask Him to help you be faithful as you wait. Draw near to God and He will draw near to you. May the Lord be with you. May He bless you. May He cause His face to shine upon you and be with you always. Goodbye.